Good morning, people. Good morning. Yes, this is Spirit Journey. Yes, today is, it's very, very early in the morning. It is February 5, 2022, and the time right now is 12:51 a.m. Yes, I went to bed early, and so I wake up early. My mind was very busy. I was listening to videos, and this was regarding the very wealthy. I say up front, people, that I am nowhere of that upper echelon at all. Just saying. But I want to just share with you my thoughts on this super wealthy. I was watching videos on Monaco. It's a principality located in southern France, what they call the Riviera. And again, I'm a very feely person. That's how I experience life through my feelings. As I said, I'm an empath or a sensitive. That's just how I process my environment. But I just want to give my thoughts of what I was feeling and also through my experiences. Well, I did have the opportunity many years ago when I was in the military. I was in the Navy, and we did a Mediterranean cruise, what we call a med cruise. And our ship, one of the ports of call was in Nice, Cannes. We didn't go to the, Monaco, but it's pretty much all the same thing. Um, they showed people dressed very, very nice. They showed the opulence of the food, and it's just something that's just so different. Um, and I entitled this live stream, The Illusions of Wealth, and Don't Let It Intimidate You. And I think, in part, that I was feeling a little intimidated. And I feel like the super wealthy want to intimidate you by what they have. And so I think that's why I entitled this live stream, the description, Don't Let It Intimidate You. Because when you look at them, and if you pull away all that they have, you pull away the clothes they're wearing, the jewelry, the makeup. Let's say even pull away their skin. They really don't have anything. And they rely on you. The system, it's a system. The system relies on you to interpret what they have as being sought after, and that they are entitled to certain privileges because of what they look like, because of who they know, because of where they live. In Monaco, they explained that um, they said 1 out of 3 people that live there are millionaires. You have the super rich to be able to reside there in Monaco. You have to have permission, and you have to have permission by the, Prince Albert or Albert, Um, you have to have at all times in your bank account. They said um, $1 million liquid. That has to be in your account at all times. And then they have like the regular people, the people who are actually from that area, born there, and they don't necessarily have money. And they are given like the real locals. They're given like some type of allowance benefit that um, subsidizes where they live. Because again, if to cater to the very rich, you're going to need people who are doing the cooking, the cleaning, the services. So where are you going to get them? So, the people have to, live there. And, so I thought, that seems fair, You need people who are going to actually live there and do the work. Um, but yes, yeah, this is an early, an early show. Yeah, I couldn't sleep. Yeah, I'm just talking about my feelings about the super wealthy that I saw on Monaco. So you have people the what benefits they're given to live there in Monaco. They don't have to pay taxes. There's no tax, or no income tax, which sounds like a good deal. But let me tell you what they do. So, so you don't have to pay taxes. But what they do there, um, you buy things. So they have a lot of luxury items there, consumables, and all day, they have all these different, what do you call it, occasions. They have the Grand Prix, that's a car race. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Thanks for sharing that, Nubian. That's right. In Florida, there's no income tax. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I like about my regular. Um, I call you guys chatters for a chat room. Yes, I have some very intelligent chatters. Yes. Thank you, chatter. The chat room. Yes, we have some really informative people. Each one teach one. Yeah. So they are to just consume, and they have these activities such as the Grand Prix races that they watch, and um, they have um, little things that you could buy like handbags, with what luxury items, jewelry, shoes, clothing, and they're to just keep on buying. And then, of course, they have the restaurants. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. That's right. Thank you for sharing that too. Yes, each one teach one. But this live stream is really about my experiences, my feelings of things. And part of me feels a little angry. The anger about the illusions. Because again, I did have the opportunity to, in the military, to go to the Riviera. And, but what really, see, I got someone else in the chatter room. Since I don't understand why you're here because you're not adding to it. Yeah, and I'm not referring to you, Nubian, but you saw that one that just popped up. Yeah, but it was buffering, and then someone just came on. You saw that, Nubian, that weird chatter that had those funny letters like Russian. Yeah, they keep coming on, and I don't understand why they're there. I don't know why certain people come on those funny chatters. Yeah. Yeah, and it's the same one. And they might have different names, but it's the same code that they use. See, I don't mind people coming on and sharing. And again, anyone can have their own opinion, and I know I have a lot of opinions, and I don't mind learning about other people's opinions. So, but when they do this, it's just wasting everybody's time and breath. But anyway, they have. Oh, okay. Oh, thanks for saying that. I could block them. Yeah, they just keep on reinventing themselves and call themselves new names. So that's why in the past I had blocked some of them, but they kept coming back with a vengeance. And so I found out if I did nothing, they eventually just go away. Oh well. But yeah, they have activities for the super wealthy since they're not going to pay taxes. So they have them consuming. That's funny. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, Nubian. Yeah, that they'll just go away. It's just like a fly, like a mosquito. They're there for a moment and then they eventually go away. Yeah, because again, when you block them and do this and that, they come back with a larger force. I notice. So I just ignore them. Yeah, see, it just goes to show you that I'm speaking the truth, Nubian. I'm speaking the truth because it is all an illusion, and not to let it intimidate you. Even these little bots, don't let them intimidate you. So these people, these rich people, have to buy and keep on consuming, and they consume all these products. And I've seen things um, that people buy, and it's for a season, and it's all an illusion, and it relies on you to think and put something to these objects that you consume. It's all energy. These things that people buy are energies. And some of these items have more energy attached to them than others. But who actually places those energies in it is the observer. You may think something is garbage. You may think something doesn't have any value, but it actually could be considered a luxury item. Let's say you go, let's say you have an item in one of those high-end stores. They're oftentimes very, like the clothes, very simply made. And you take that item and you put it in, like, let's say, a real junkie, a so-called junkie store. It would be overlooked and just discarded. If no label was on it, you just think it's anything else. And people are willing to spend a lot of money on it. And so I started realizing, wow, yeah, this, and you take that item out from that neighborhood like Monaco, and you put it in a poor neighborhood on a rack, a skippy rack, and people might just trample it on their feet. They just because they don't know the value of it. Because you put in the value. They help you set the value by putting a label on it and hoping that you recognize it. Not everybody recognizes the label. The selector know what those labels supposed to represent. It's like a program. Not everybody speaks that language, that program language. So it's hoping that you know the meaning behind that label. But otherwise, it's the meaning you put in it. You put that item in a poor area, and then people just and you put something else in another area, and they treat it differently. Isn't that also what race and racism is all about? Now, when you say, well, what do you mean by that? Okay, let's say you get a mixed race person. Let's say they're born in an area and everybody knows their heritage and they're considered undesirable. You take that person out and you put them in another area where they are considered undefined, what's the word? Not really distinguishable what they really are. What's that term? When someone, you're not sure what ethnic slash race they are because it's such a blend, but you take them out of their neighborhood, their poor neighborhood, and put them somewhere else. Maybe even give them a new accent, a new name, and all of a sudden they are going to be perceived as something different, and they might be perceived as something better and be called the exotic beauty or something like that, right? Yes, it is indoctrination. It's a program. And, because I had the opportunity to go to the French Riviera in the military and the beaches. I said, this is what they call the Riviera. The beaches are not as spectacular as the beaches here in New York City. New York City has these grand beaches, mega beaches, super long and super wide. Yeah. And then the Riviera is just a couple of yards thick. And I felt like, wow, I wouldn't want to be on the beach here. It's like it's right off of the street, the main high, the main road. You had some people who were topless, but I didn't feel comfortable. And I said, I wouldn't want to be there. Yeah, the beaches here in New York City, Far Rockaway Beach, the quality of the beaches, so it's a nice beach. Jones Beach. We have mega beaches, but these spectacular beaches are in poor neighborhoods. I used to live there. I used to live in Far Rockaway. My very, very early years, from birth to age of 4. And I went to visit. Yeah, it's here this whole area in Far Rockaway, that whole it could really be a place like a type of Monaco. But see, it's designated for the poor. They have what they call the projects there. Um, it's very low, stagnant, like a cancer. Yet the poor areas, at least in New York City, doesn't really permit what I call circulation, the in and out of commerce or energy. For something to really be vibrant, it has to be circulated, a good circulation. Energy coming in, energy coming out, and energy is in the form of money, activity, and it's stagnant. And it's stagnant by design. The people who are in charge of the area, they don't want it to thrive. And I wonder why. It's prime real estate, but they want to crush the people. Uh huh. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I know I'm speaking the truth. Those of you who know this area, um, Far Rockaway in Queens, New York City, it's an excellent beach. And you would think that they would have. See, I also used to live in Hawaii, and they have what they call a beach culture. They have the surfboards, the paraphernalia that comes with those activities, the bathing suits, the lotion, the hats, the sunglasses, and it's a whole market. But this beach town has nothing, and it's spooky, actually. So what's the difference? Isn't a beach a beach? So the beaches and the beach fronts in the Riviera, the French Riviera, is a different quality. Again, it's all an illusion. They don't want certain people to feel the feel of luxury. So they say, okay, yeah, you live at a beach, but we're not going to give it any energy, and you're just going to be stagnant and poor. And we're going to increase the crime rate. But then again, you have these super rich in Monaco. That video that I was watching on Monaco. No taxes. They don't have to pay any taxes, but they have to buy. See it's kind of a smart move to do that. And why I say that? See, people don't like the idea of having to give money to the government. They hate it, and they should hate it. But to be able to spend your money on yourself, we love to do. So they make sure, Monaco, that they have to pay for everything and at a high price. I mean, even they show the champagnes there, and they said that like one whole bottle. Get this, people, one whole bottle of this champagne or wines could be 23,000 euros. It's like a down deposit for a house. A down for one bottle, 23,000 euro a bottle. So they're willing to spend money on that. They're willing to spend money on apartments. Yeah, they have these luxury apartments they were showing, and inside I was feeling funny, a little intimidated. Like an awe, but at the same time a little funny inside because I know I can't afford for those luxury apartments. There was 600 square meters in size. These some of these units, you know, and some of them they don't even want to tell you how much it is. So all this is where the money is going. So they say, okay, you live here tax free. You have to have at all times a liquid asset of $1 million in your account. And again, they have these galas, these fashion shows. And the newest show that they showed, well, it took place in 2019, so it's just before COVID. and they call them influencers. You know, the social media people. Yeah, I'm new with the terminology, relatively new. I heard the term last year called influencers, and I think isn't that something? So it shows you that society that people want to feel like they're making a mark in the world. And now the people in social media, like this media or the other social media, as influencers. And there's a new category, they're using this new category to be celebrated in Monaco now. And they were to decide who's going to be the top influencer. You know, so they gather in this room, what they call the influencers, and then they're voted on who's going to be considered the top influencer. And it's designed for the young. Yeah, you have in Monaco um, the the royalty. See, Monaco is a principality in southern France, and it has a prince. It doesn't have a king or queen, but it has a prince because it's a principality. And they had these two princesses. Sorry, they wanted to move with the times. This principality, because see, they have to keep on renewing themselves too. They have to move with the times. The principality of Monaco. Yeah, at one time it was heading nowhere, and they had to um, revitalize it because it was just on its last leg. Yeah, there was a prince. Oh, what's his name? Oh, Renier. Um, and he married a an American actress by the name of Grace Kelly, and she married the prince, Prince Renier of Monaco, in 1956. She looked beautiful. She did. She was absolutely beautiful to look at. And so she's connected with Hollywood. And so, what is Hollywood all about? Hollywood is about illusions, the illusions of wealth. And it's a relying Hollywood again. It's about seduction and making you feel certain ways. See, Monaco was on its last leg in the 1950s. It really had nothing. It was just floundering. So they needed a revitalization tactic. And hooked up with Hollywood, married, they had a fabulous looking wedding. Oh, it was fantastic. And they had three children together, two girls and a boy. And you could look in the stories about what happened to the daughters. It's really something. And I really won't go into it here. Um, but I'm glad that they've seemed to be come to terms with their life. And it was actually the oldest sister that was to be the head. But something, that she did, and I think the father made the correct choice. He used wisdom and made it so that she would never be able to rule, and gave it to the son, Prince Albert. Yeah, he seems to be doing very well, and he married somebody also. He married a white woman from South Africa, and she plays the part very well. And he almost made a big faux pas, a big mistake. I like Prince Albert actually. He and Prince Albert looks like I had a professor in school who looked like him. It's just something about him. And all the girls in the classroom had a crush on this professor. I don't. It was just his voice. So he looked like him. And again, back then I didn't know who Prince Albert was, but I remember, my professor, and he just had this very seductive voice. And yes, he had the complete attention of the class. Yeah. Oh, what class was it? Statistics. Yeah. I had to take statistics. And it was a lot of work involved. But we did all our work. Yeah. Yeah, we loved looking at him. Yeah, he wore a business suit. And he just looked very clean. Wore his, yeah, I think he was what was he, a therapist or something? I forget what he did. I don't, oh well. But yeah, so when I saw the Prince Albert, I said, "Oh my God, he looks just like my old professor." So that's why I kind of had a little, I had a little crush on him. Um, yeah, I don't really feel that way anymore. But yeah, he's just a couple of years older than me, Prince Albert. He might be 2 years older than me. Um, yeah, he got his life in order because he was a bachelor for a very long time, and he did certain things, indiscretions, but he recovered from it. But unfortunate, his sisters had a harder recovery. Yeah, it's hard. It's harder for women when a woman does something. Um, she's trashed longer. So again, this is part of the illusions because see, um, there's a different standard of between men and women, and the illusion, of it all holds you back, holds the woman down. So it is what it is. So what is life really about? We watch these films or these documentaries on the super wealthy and see it. Okay, you don't have to pay any taxes, but we're going. Sorry about that, but yeah. So isn't this really no different than the illusions with the Matrix? Hmm. Yeah, everywhere. That's right, Nubian. It's part of the Matrix still. The super wealthy. Oh, they have. See, they don't want to outright take away their money with taxes, so they just intoxicate you with the champagne. Again, each bottle is worth 23,000 euros. Euros is more valuable than the dollar, the US dollar. So it's more money. It's a lot of money. And they have to keep on inventing themselves to be able to gather slash money. So now they're including the younger generation, the new rich, over social media because now social media you can get a lot of money. Some of these what they call what was that word, influencer, get a lot of money. Some of these influencers, several million viewers, I mean subscribers, and collectively they have over 400 million subscribers. That's what they were saying. That were gathered there, the top influencers, okay, based on the numbers of how many subscribers they have. So they're all having the million viewers. I don't watch any of the top viewers. It's not in my it's not in my playground. It's not. And one day I saw a video that talked about who was the number one YouTuber. And they were arguing with each other. One was a Scandinavian man, and another was a South Asian man. And they knew that with the speed of it, the Scandinavian guy was going to quickly go into second place. From first, he they knew he was going to be it was going to change the numbers, and the South Asian get the number one spot. But what do they talk about? The guy from Scandinavia, young, relatively young fellow, and it's like, what is he talking about? How is it that on the social media, they decide with algorithms who they're going to allow on top and recommend videos? So you only could subscribe to what you say. If you never hear of them, you can't subscribe. So they can make it that certain people don't get the visibility because it's all about social engineering. And they want certain people's attention slash uh, energy slash money to go to certain algorithms. They want to promote certain ways of thinking. It's not a hit or miss. It's not by, oh, well, you just work a little harder. Sure, that the different things that you can do that could increase your numbers or visibility. But just like in Far Rock, there are things that the people there can do to get more visibility so that people go down there and shop and buy. But that's not the intention of the developers there. That some areas they want to keep dormant, keep in a cancerous state. No circulation, it's a dead vessel. They want all attention to go to other areas, right? So I just thought it's interesting. And so when you look at the people there, Monaco, in areas like that, you ask yourself, what do they have that you don't have? If you, because see, we're all born naked. Yeah, thank you, Nubian. We're all basically the same. You know, if you imagine all of us naked, all born naked, you want to be able to tell a high-end person because there is an illusion, and you'll have people because they want to fit in. They want to be given invites to these big gala events, such as with this, which took place in 2019, the Influencer Award of Monaco. And it's to gather the new money. See, these new influencers, they're young people that have access or the potential of making millions of dollars. Yeah, you have 7 million subscribers. And if your subscribers are, you know, if you're monetized, and most likely you'll be monetized at that level, the potential of money making, you know, so they want to, Monica wants to attach this new wave of potentiality, this money and influence. Again, they call it influencers. What could they influence? Well, they can influence, okay, the youth. It's a youth culture. Let's maybe get a gathering of young people. Because see, the old money is dying out quickly. And you have new technologies, and they want to be current. Because you can't rely on the old system because now you have new illusions through social media, through the influencers. It's a new program, and so they have to attach itself to the new programs that are used to control the narrative. Bring in a new culture, bring in the youth, because now the youth they have control over the the like the music. And what is music? Music is energy, and they want you to dance, 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 right? Also, they're also very skinny. I notice they're super wealthy. They tend to be very thin. So it's a thin culture too. And I remember this person I met. They had this artwork that says you can't be too skinny or too rich, and that's the mentality. For the super rich, you can't be too skinny, and I thought that was interesting. You can't be too skinny or too rich, and so also with the youth, they have a jewelry line to cater to the nouveau rich. Yeah, these little bangles, these little bracelets made out of twisted wire. It's like a cable. That's the word they use. A cable wire. What is a cable? Isn't that cables? Isn't it used to like to hold you down? A cable. I mean, there were thin cables, but I would never really think of a cable being used for a bracelet. But what does a cable symbolize and have it on young girls? So you have a jewelry line catering to the youth, the influencers out there. Yeah, because they know the old guard is out. The new guard is about this new dimension that's being presented. Yes, slavery. You got it. You got it, Nubian. Exactly. Slavery, cables. It was done pretty. It comes in different colors. And they fit on the wrist. They're real skinny. They were really skinny. Cute little dresses. Isn't it a new slavery? New bondage. Because now you're going to have the music, the jewelry, and then their influencer status is going to be brought in to Monaco, probably. Yeah, they're not going to just have a new category to celebrate in Monaco. I'm sure they're going to have a place in Monaco to live in, people. Because the influencers slash the internet, isn't that the new frontier? Isn't the internet the new frontier? And what they're going to put in that new frontier, remember with Facebook, what do you call it, the metaverse? See, it's all about presenting the new chapter and having you consume it through the illusions of the super wealthy, such as, in this case, Monaco. Yeah, exactly, Nubi, yes. Monaco. Wow, it's just really interesting. And this was done in 2019, this, this video, this documentary. And again, it's made through, Monaco was reestablished, I mean, revitalized through the marriage of Grace Kelly, the actress. She's just a regular person from the United States. She does not come from royalty. But see, this royal house of Monaco was dying out and it needed to be revitalized because it just become a cancer and die. So they hooked them up. Hollywood is now attached to Monaco. And now connecting, yeah, the trickery they plan goes very back. But yeah, they want to now connect the new chapter, which is the social media giants of the influencers. You notice now in the news, they're talking about what they call the influencers, like they're a different force. Now it's like the new Hollywood, the social media, and the people, and the young. So where does this lead us? Yeah, this illusion of wealth. Let me now, as I mentioned earlier, it has been in the making. Yeah, many years. Yes, it has in the making. Now I have the experience. Um, I'm fascinated to one point about who they call the very wealthy. Now I live in New York City, and New York City has areas that are for the super wealthy. They're on the east side, what they call the Upper East Side, and you have the Upper West Side. I mean, you have the West Side, um, and I'm kind of, you know, you look at them like the West Side is trying to pick up, and I had an opportunity to join this health spa. Um, I forget the name of the health spa. They have a handful of them in New York, um, and it's to cater to people who want to be seen. It's I think catering to the young, the new college graduates, and many of these new college graduates are coming from East Asia. Yeah, the new rich of East Asia is infiltrating quickly in New York City. And it was a couple of years ago, in I think in 2018 or 2019, I joined. Yeah, yeah, it had to be around 2018. And I wanted to get this exercise, join a gym, and I wanted something nice. And I wanted something that had a sauna room and that, the steam room and the sauna, it felt very therapeutic. And it was during the winter. And so it had to have that in there because I have to warm up, because I have to walk there. So that was a requirement. And I was just, yeah, because I used to have to walk past it almost every day because I have to walk my dogs. And it looked very pretty. It was a new building. It was a brand new building. And they would have these high-end cars. I think what they do in these buildings, they rent cars, high-end cars, to place in the parking lot of the building. That like it has that circular driveway. You know, you go in and out. Sorry about that. He keeps glitching when it doesn't want for you to hear these things because it doesn't want you to think. And again, with me, see, I experiment with myself also. Because sometimes I don't understand why I feel seduced at times, but sometimes I say, let me just see what happens. So I was attracted to this new place. It was a brand new building, these luxury buildings in New York City. Yeah, it is trickery. And it's all to get your money, your energy. So I go inside this building, and they have a health spa in there. They showed me around, and they were dressed very pretty. They have, again, young people there at the desk, pretty young women, skinny women, and they look very fancy. It is part of the seduction. Okay, you can hire any model to work a front desk. They don't really have to do anything but seduce you. So they said, you can join. They told me the price, and you have 2 weeks to decide. You could come, and if you decide in 2 weeks that it's not for you, we'll give you back all your money. So I thought, okay, it's a win-win situation. I want to get in shape. I really want to go in the sauna and warm up because I like that type of heat. So I went in, everything was super, just the illusion. They had a nice, what do you call it, like a relaxing room, a room that you just lie down and it's dark in the room. You have these lightings, um, music. Yeah, it's really to relax you. And for whatever reason, I started gagging in that room. Uh, the, the, the position of the chairs was at I think a 45-degree angle, the backrest. And I wanted to get some tea. And as I started to sip, I started coughing so hard. And this never happened before. Yeah, they track it by colors. Yeah, they use these lighting. The room is dark, but they use these little light things and the music, the new age music. Oh, it was really nice. But I kept on coughing. See, I think my body was saying to me, "You don't belong here. Get out." It's a gagging. It was a gag reflex. And I said, "Boy, maybe I have to reposition the chair." So I tried to drink again. Each time I was gagging so hard and coughing. I said, but this is supposed to be a relaxation room. Why aren't I relaxed when I drink my tea? Sorry about that. See, it's buffering again. Yeah, exactly. See, Nubian, you know the deal. You know the deal, Nubian. Yeah. So, but I think this all means something. It's not by accident that my body was doing this. See, I wanted to believe in the illusion. This was a place that's supposed to be for the new rich. And I had the money to join, you know, have all my bills paid, and I wanted to just pamper myself. And I was experimenting. I was experimenting with the illusion. And so I came back the next day. I lasted 4 days. I think about 4 days I lasted there. And what convinced me to not continue. Again, I'm given 2 weeks, but I could only tolerate for 4 days. See, this is what clicked. See, this place was catering or trying to convince the new rich in New York City to buy to rent in that building and to use the gym. So it cost a little more, and it would look very fancy. Um, well, see, if you're going to carry that, like in Monaco, you better carry it all the way, the illusion. Okay? It's like going to a restaurant and you have hair in your food. Okay? Everything else could look good, but you got hair in that food? Disqualifies. Well, what disqualified for me was that okay? Now I had bought, I not bought. I was drinking that tea that I told you about. It had in a thermostat, and after I was finished drinking what I wanted, what I was able to swallow, I put the cup. There was like a little table next to me, and when I was coughing, I put the dish down on the table, and then I tried to drink more, but I couldn't. But after my time there, I took the sword, the mug, and put it on the table across from me. And when I returned the next day, you know, that same mug that I used, I believe it was mine because I remember where I put it. And the thermostat was, they did not clean out and put in a fresh thing of tea in that thermostat. And the ring, the table next to me that I put down my cup was still there, the ring that it made. Because I was coughing and some of the tea, went on the edge. So it left a ring. And I said, this is enough. I said, they don't know how. See, the illusion was that they knew about protocol and cleanliness. They didn't clean the facility. You should clean the thing every day. At the end of each night, you're supposed to clean, disinfect. They didn't do a damn thing. They didn't clean out the thermostat and put in new tea. The mug that I used was still there from the day before. So what the hell are they working there for? What did they do? They did absolutely nothing. They relied on you. Yeah, I kid you not. They relied on you to not notice what they're not doing. And the illusion was that they were a high-end place and that they knew the protocols of you go to Britain in those royal places. You better know your job, and you better okay if that's an illusion too, an institution that's been there several thousand years, right? And it's a protocol and the things that they're supposed to do to cater to um, influential slash wealthy or wannabe wealthy people. And they didn't do it. They relied on the pretty girls up in the front desk with their pretty outfits, but that they couldn't clean a cup, left a ring. If this was a true high end place in Monaco, and if that room had a ring on the table, they would sign out of that room and tell the media that they don't even clean the cup and wipe down the table after the use, and they would storm out. Am I right? Or what about the sheet? What if there was a dirty sheet in the bed? What if? Do you hear what I'm saying though? You're gonna try to disguise yourself for a place that's catering to for the new rich in New York City, and you don't even clean off the table and leave a table ring on it. That means you didn't wipe down. What else you not wiping down? What if you're getting a wax job, waxing, and you know where some ladies get waxing? Did they clean off that thing that you're lying on? Well, you couldn't do a simple thing like wiping up the ring, a coffee ring. So what about everything else? This thing you probably could get sick in. But because it's pretty, it's designed really pretty, it makes you think that that you're being catered to. They're not doing a job. They're just taking your money and hoping You don't realize what's not being done. I lasted there about 4 days when I saw that ring, and that they didn't even clean out the. It okay. Okay, looks like I saw it again. Okay, that's letting you know not to show or anything else in there. Showers and bathroom are not clean either. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. That's right. That's right. See, Nubian, you're always on money. You're always on the money. That means, yeah, they're not cleaning the showers. Did you know else? They used me as a model in that facility. See, I joined because I really wanted to use the sauna because I just love the heat in there. They had me pose in there and take a picture for their brochure. Yeah, it went to my head a little bit. That there was a camera guy. They had this computer, like a laptop that was attached to this. Had this equipment attached to the laptop to take, to download the footage and everything to use for the new pamphlet, sales pamphlet to give to people. Yeah, so they had me pose. It was like a frosted glass uh, wall, and I was beyond that wall, the opposite end. So it was a silhouette. So they had me pose in it. Yeah, so I say sure. Yeah, my ego. Yes, I had a little ego. Yeah, so I lasted there 4 days, and I decided when I saw that they didn't have the decency to clean out the thermostat. I mean the thermos, for the tea, to keep it warm. It was empty actually. Same one from the night before. And the ring that I left because I was sitting there. Yeah, see, when I sit at a table, whatever, I sit at the same one. It also minimizes the exposure to different bacteria. I know this sounds weird, but see, the more like if you use the same one, yes, uh, germs are germs, but if you use so many different ones, uh, the spreadability of new germs upon you is increases. So use the same one, use the same store, use the same. So it's the same type of people using it. Not necessarily, I mean, not all the time, but it just minimizes it. So if I have to use something, use the same one that you use. Um, so I went to the front desk. I said, I decided I won't be staying, and I wanted to get my money back. And they were like really upset. And they really tried. It says, "Oh well, why are?" I think I had to meet with several people because they were really trying to figure out why. Because when I went all day, like for 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours at a time. Yeah, I like taking my time when I go to these places. Yeah, I can spend. Yeah, I spent the whole hours there. Oh, colloidal silver. Oh, very good. Very, yeah, you're smart, Nubian. Yeah, very very smart move. Yeah. So I didn't want to embarrass them, and maybe I should have. See, I felt like, see, I can be. I know it sounds petty to some of you, but it's what it meant to me that it went beyond just not having clean up the mug from the day before, clean the ring, uh, clean out the thermos and put in a new fresh thing. Well, see, it symbolized everything what they're not doing. They're probably, as Nubian says, not cleaning the showers or the toilets or the pool. Yeah, it's not pretty. But they want you to think that they are, if you're going to cater to quality, and people with money or think who got money, you better play the part also. That means you're going to wipe down everything. You're going to do your part, but they weren't doing your part. And so I didn't feel I was being respected. I didn't feel respected, and I was insulted by them doing that. And I know that I don't think those girls there would realize the significance of having dirty cups from the night before that I use. I might have left, like, let's say, at 6 o'clock in the evening, and it's the next day and it's still there. So they said, "Oh, what's wrong?" I said, "I just thought, it's not for me. And they knew it was something wrong. And then they got another person to try to implement it. And someone dressed really pretty, and I see they're trying to seduce. It's seduction. Oh, don't change your mind. Look how pretty I am. You could become part of the illusion. I just wasn't having it. I didn't want to explain to that young girl. See, I was much older than these girls too. I didn't want to explain myself to these women who think they can seduce me by their looks, and you couldn't ensure that they clean that facility for the new rich, or people who have at least the money to join membership there. So I didn't tell them, and they knew I was hiding something. They knew I was hiding something. That's why they got more than one person to uh, try to find out and convince me. I just didn't feel like telling them. I didn't. So yes, they fulfilled their promise and they gave me back all my money. Hmm. Yes, and boy, they don't like for you to speak the truth. That's why it keeps buffering. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all about censoring you. I feel censored. And I think it's important. I know it sounds trivial to most people what I'm talking about, but I'm really trying to expose the illusions, people, because we fall for it. I wanted to believe in the illusion and feel catered to, feel, luxury looks nice. It did look nice. But it wasn't a true. See, it's catering to the new rich, and see, they know the new people aren't really educated. We just have stuff. We could have money, but we don't know the protocols. We just buy it without any question. Yeah, cosmetics. We don't know, and many of us may not say anything. Some of us may we just we might just turn our heads, you know, and pretend we don't see what's going on. But I saw it. I wanted to enjoy the illusion of plush. And in New York City, they don't know how, they're not training people for real wealth. I, I feel, I feel sorry for the real rich that live in New York City. They must have another hangout or something, because see, who they're bringing in New York City don't have know their head from their elbow. Did you know when I had gone to, see, I went to many, I did many types of occupations and many different types of schools. Yeah, I graduated also from cooking school. I majored in pastry arts. and I did graduate with honors. And in the curriculum, we had to learn about to polish our image of knowledge about, professionalism. And they told my teacher told us about hygiene, health, what do you call it, sanitation. And she was saying that you have people who are being brought here from other countries. I'm not going to say where because I'm not here to embarrass anybody. But it is partly cultural, and you just don't know. And they were told to clean out the glass, the little helper. Well, let me tell you what the teacher saw. This person took the glass with a cloth and spat in the glass to polish it. Okay, did you hear me right? Did you hear me, people? What I just said? This person received the glass to clean, and to clean it, she spat in the glass and wiped inside of it to make it nice and shiny. So they said, you were to clean the glass. This is what I just did. I spat it, and she thought this was acceptable procedure to clean something. New York City is getting people like this to cater to the new wealthy to work in restaurants, beauty places, things like that. Teacher told us that is not what you do. That is not sanitation. And just imagine in the this time of the pandemic. Yeah, it's trifling. This is what's being done. So I start looking. So my looking at this documentary on Monaco. Just imagine all those people who are going to places, getting, um, having dinner, and um, you have the dish. When you eat, the table is set in a particular way. Yeah, there's a way to dress the table. Yeah, there's all different protocols. Yeah, in Europe, old Europe knows how to do it. They know the deal. They know what's supposed, and you have people to ensure that the next generation knows how to dress a table. There are different protocols, and there's a reason. I'm sure there's historical reasons behind what they do and how they dress a table. But in America, they don't do it. They don't know it. They're just about getting cheap labor, slash, remember, the Americans had slavery. So, and it's a slave mentality. And again, with the colonials, the colonials weren't the top people of Europe. These were the social undesirables. They did get leaders to run the colonies, but outside of that, the main people there, they weren't high-end people. And then they had forced labor. And then Europe was selling the products. See, with the slave trade, um, well, you had the slave labor, and they produce goods like sugar, tobacco, alcohol, and those products, were sent overseas to Europe to be refined and then sold back to America and the rest of the Americas. They don't know about you know, the protocol or how certain things are done, such as dressing a table or how to clean a glass. So yeah, you got, so especially now, everything is about as cheap, make everything cheap as possible, getting cheap labor, trying to make things look good. You go in these apartment buildings, they're real, the walls are real thin. Yeah, they know how to make it faster and faster, but it's cheaper and cheaper. It's no quality in New York City anymore. The new buildings, yeah, they can build it really fast, but they're cheaply made. But they know how to make it look attractive on the outside. You go and eat some of the desserts in New York City. Yeah, they know how to make it look real good, but it tastes nasty. Again, I was when I graduated being a pastries, and don't taste real. The food doesn't taste real. It ain't real. I told you about that place. It's a store. It had pastries, and it's like it looked abandoned, the store, but I was wondering why the desserts never spoiled, because it's synthetic food. Real pastries made with the milk and butter and eggs. It's highly perishable. Those foods have so much chemicals in it. It doesn't get stale. You heard about with the fast food, those hamburgers and fries, that they don't spoil if you leave it out for a couple of weeks. It doesn't get mold on it. It's completely preserved. It does not age. And you're consuming that because it's an artificial world, artificial food for artificial people. And now Monaco is utilizing the influencers of social media to be the new celebrated people for the super wealthy. Yes, they are. Yeah, this was in 2019. The documentary, it was on YouTube. Buffering again. See that buffering again? You notice when I say certain words, it does that? Sorry, it's the counter is not even moving now. Okay, it's moving now. Sorry. You notice certain words that I say, that's when it happens? But yes, so the two teenage girls are and the mom was behind this new category to celebrate in Monaco. Yeah, because they said that they have to move forward. And they're right, because see, they need a new illusion, because the old guard is out. Yeah, it was a documentary on YouTube about Monaco. Yeah, I don't remember the name, but if because I have your contact info. I could I can email it to you. I'll try to remember to email you that information. Yeah, but you could just type in anything with with Monaco, and you probably get it on. You probably get it. It's about the super wealthy of Monaco. Yeah, and I did some years ago of. Oops, sorry. I did a couple of years ago this thing on Monaco. Yeah, yeah, I like how it came out. I did it in 2017. Yeah, so yeah, I did something on Monaco. I wanted to talk about, yeah, that was an important video I did. Um, That video I did around 2017, 2018 was about the standards of a place like Monaco. Yeah, I was watching a documentary on Monaco because remember I had a little crush. I used to have a crush on Prince Albert because he looked like my college professor. Yeah, all the girls had a crush on this particular professor. Yeah, um, yeah. On my channel, I did something on Monaco, and it was about. I was impressed how it was some product. I think it was ham. I don't even eat pork, but it's a way how they cure the meat. It's a whole process, and I was so impressed on. I mean, see, they know the importance of a product, and it has to be. And again, they're catering to royalty and the super wealthy. And they have and one thing, when you work with Europeans, when I was in the cooking field, I did have an opportunity to work for a French company, well, a French-based company. The cooks and everything were, half of the staff was from mainland France. And honey, they take their job seriously. The French, with cooking, when they learned cooking, they learned at the age of 16. By this time they're in their 20s, they're mid to late 20s. So they've been in the field for many years. But in European standards, they're still considered kind of new. But they're good, boy. They are excellent. They take their jobs to such a degree that if, like some of the chefs, this one chef had lost a star. Like some restaurant, they get like was that a 4-star restaurant? I forget how it go. I should know this. I apologize. It's either 4 or 5 star. I'm supposed to know. When you get older, you do stuff forget. But let's say it's a 4-star restaurant, and he lost the star. The chef. You know what the chef did? He committed suicide. Yeah, he committed suicide because he lost the star. These Europeans, old time Europeans, the old system, their career is their reputation. In America, we don't care about our reputation. We just care about making it as cheap as possible. But some people really are concerned about how something is made, how something is tasted. It's their reputation. Yes, all about the standards. And so it was a whole protocol. Excuse me, everything. Yeah. So I did a video about it. And the significance of why I did that video about protocol, how things are supposed to be done, the importance of something being done correctly in this principality. Um, I felt that in America, in the black community, in America in general, that the importance of teaching your skill to the next generation, to your children. So that's why certain nations and stuff, they have that continuity of power because they make sure they teach the next generation or their children their craft. In Europe, old Europe, they teach their children their craft. And so businesses are moved from generation to generation. It continues. But in America, it's not doing that. It's not teaching you a damn thing. And so so I did that one to remind Black America or anyone who it applies to that you need to teach the next generation your skills, or you'll lose everything. Yeah, so on my channel, you just probably type in Monaco, I think, and you'll get the video. I did it as a voiceover. Okay. Yeah, that's why I did the video. So I was just glitching. It doesn't want me to tell you. Yeah. See, Europe remains as powerful it is because it uses its head and what you need to keep the power, you have to maintain it by making sure that like it's like the baton, like you have a race and like a speed race, a rally, you have to pass the baton to the next person. And you just keep on doing it, passing the baton. But we're not passing the baton. We're not passing the knowledge. We're not. And so we lose it. But we're getting the new rich, we're getting the new people. Yeah, we're getting a whole flux of these new. See, I'm not trying to sound like a bias. I'm just sharing what I'm seeing. I don't care who's in what, but I care about why things happen and the consequences of what happens when you don't do something. I see it setting up. Yeah, we're getting a new shipment of people here. Yeah, we're gonna have the new rich, the new influential people, but we're not carrying to the same perfection. Europe is as powerful it is. Western Europe. When I say Europe, I mean Western Europe. Eastern Europe is not the same. Western Europe. They know the importance. See, they sent all those colonies over here to the Americas, and then they had the colony ship back the raw materials back to Europe. Europe utilized those new materials and then sold it back to the people who created it. See, they're smart. But now we're not teaching the next generation how to continue with it. We're eating fake food, fake fabric. What else? Yeah, it's just a veneer. It's gonna fall. I'm sharing you all this because it's gonna fall. This because there's nothing to hold it up. They're relying on you to believe in the illusion long enough, and then it's gonna collapse. It's going to collapse. And so I'm warning you when it happens. When it's gonna happen. It's gonna all topple. But now it's like we're at a reset right now with this pandemic. They don't want you to see what's going on behind the scenes. Why did they change the mayor? Well, yeah, so it was election year, but why they put in the mayor that we have in now? It's all I don't know. I know it does sound bad me saying it, but it's true. Yeah, it's a joke. They put in we have a black mayor. He's from the south. He's from South Jamaica, not far from where I'm from. And yes, he used to be a cop. They said, or did, something up there. Um, but he's just there to press the button. He's not going to really have anything to protect the black people in New York City or our continuity. It's just going to fall. That's also why I was feeling a little panicked. I know it just sounds bad. It does sound bad. But you just see who really is in the power seat. Who was standing next to him when he was giving his speech? That's what scared me. I wasn't afraid that his family was there. I expect his family to be there, but it was who was next to his family. You just look at the videos and see who was standing next to him, and I felt uncomfortable. And it's something like with Whoopi. Whoopi is see. It's just things repeating itself. You heard about with Whoopi that Whoopi is giving a timeout, a 2 week timeout. They call it suspension. She's being suspended because she challenged, and again, the co-workers. She wasn't mean spirited. She didn't say it with ill heart, but she gave a philosophical explanation why people do what they do. And she got suspended. And it's that group that is suspending her that is controlling our new mayor, the black mayor. That's what I'm getting at. See, I have to be very careful. I have to be very careful. You go look at it. And some of you may come to the same type of conclusion. See, uh, they could have anyone in the driver's seat, but some driver's seat is really by remote control. That person's not really driving, it's being remote controlled. And what happened to Whoopi, now I'm not a fan of the show, the View. Isn't the View is about your view, your opinion. They're telling her she's not entitled to her viewpoint about history. Yet the Holocaust, you had many people who died. Horrible that anybody, those victims who died in the Holocaust. You had blacks, you had gypsies, you had Russian, you had Catholics that were in those prison camps. But how dare this black person, descendant of slaves, right? Again, Tuskegee, during the time of that time in Germany in the 1930s and 40s, what was happening in the United States of America? We had a Holocaust here with those people in the Tuskegee experiments. That happened for 40 years. 40 years about. And what happened in Europe happened for only 13 years, the 13-year period. While during the same time of this Holocaust, that you had people in the United States of America who were being experimented on. Aren't we entitled to express ourselves? Because, see, there's a Holocaust here in America. And so you're going to give her a suspension because through her understanding of wickedness that happens upon people, and for her to say that it was man's inhumanity against mankind, I think it hits it right on the head. Sure, we know that that particular government of that time had certain philosophies. That philosophy exists in the United States. So she's well in her to be able to talk about it. The other lady that was there at the table on The View, yes, she was a Jewish woman. They're all about the same age. Whoopi and Joy are about the same age. They both respect each other's work. But because Whoopi is a black woman and Joy is a Jewish woman, they're programming us that you're not supposed to out-talk. She wasn't trying to out-talk Joy, the Jewish woman. She wasn't trying to condescend her, but just making a view regarding this particular book that was being discussed at the table. Sorry. And now she's being vilified. Now, again, I don't agree with all her, we have different opinions, me and Whoopi, and she's entitled to her opinion. See, that's what happened to Whoopi is just a reminder about New York City that we had our time. 2020, we had our time to some of us who rioted and did all these violent things in New York City. Okay, because The View, that show, is filmed here in New York City. See, we had our time in 2020 and 2021, but now it's a new regime. Even though you have a black mayor, but this is telling you that your opinion um, is no longer required if it interrupts with the agenda. Why would they even discuss this particular book if it's such a touchy subject? World War II and the horrors that happened, the experiments and all that, the Nuremberg laws that were passed against the people in Europe. Why are you doing things against the Nuremberg, code here in America? Yeah, the Nuremberg Code was to address the Nuremberg laws that were done against people, experimentation. So why is the planet going against an international law called the Nuremberg Codes about what's that? The consent, that there's no informed consent. You have to have informed consent to do something upon somebody, experimentation, but that's not being done. So now they're talking about this new book, a novel about World War, what happened in Europe during Nazi Germany. So why have it? You have a collection of people, what was that, 5 women of all different backgrounds. Don't you know that if you're going to have 5 people from 5 different backgrounds and you're going to discuss it, you don't think that they're going to have 5 different points of view? So now she's actually being, again, vilified. But why? I mean, they don't like a lot of these shows. Aren't they like, they're going to tell people what they want to think, what the narrative is going to be? Was this deliberate? I mean, I don't want to think it is. I really don't know. I don't know what they're willing to do. Is this a type of programming? What happened to her? What happened to Whoopi about 3 or 4 days ago? Is this part of the programming to program Black America? And Whoopi is a very high-profile person. Whoopi Goldberg followed the program to a T. And now they're going to throw her under the bus? That what happened was not about race, But about man's inhumanity to man, yes. Yes, we all know that they had the race thing in the supremacy thing. Yeah, we all know about that. New York City, they teach about the Holocaust. Yeah, you're in your 50s and up. You probably learned it. They talk about it. They had all these movies about it, documentaries when I was growing up in the 1970s. Yeah, it was a lot of information about it. But they don't want you to know about your Holocaust here. You have a Holocaust museum here in downtown Manhattan. But you know, downtown Manhattan, sorry about that, it was buffering again. Come on. Could you guys hear me? Come on. Okay. It's okay. It was just buffering again. Apologize for that. Yeah. Yeah, we have downtown Manhattan. An incident. Well, I'm sorry. We had slavery in New York City. You had human trafficked people from Africa, and they were enslaved. And this was downtown Manhattan. But they didn't teach that in my school. They didn't teach that. And they, 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 they just, I think, recently have, what's that? In the 1990s, they were, it was a federal building that was being built under Clinton. And that's when they discovered, allegedly discovered, like they just found out that there were burial sites, and it was an African burial site. They did put up something, well, they didn't stop doing the building, but they allowed some, I think they reburied the bodies, but um, they shouldn't have been allowed to build the federal building there. And I think that whole district, see, they knew about where the bodies were. To do any digging, you have to have permission to dig under the ground because they know downtown Manhattan is where the colonials and the slaves were brought. And you're going to have, burial plots. They had to know where to dig, but they digged anyway. But I was upset that they have a Holocaust museum, and I did visit it in downtown Manhattan. And I felt this was to overshadow the horrors that happened to the indigenous people and the Africans that were brought here as slaves in New York City. And it bothered me. It's good to know about, to learn about other people, to learn about other people's pain. But you're going to it's just, I think, too close to have a Holocaust museum of an event that happened in Europe and then to overshadow about the people who were abused right in that area. I don't know. It bothers me. I was angry. And so if it was so important about history, about learning about harm that was done to people, how come they don't ensure that you learn about yours in New York City? I just think it's fair. It's like we have to learn about their history, and we should learn about their history, But it's like they control the narrative about what you learn about your own. We didn't learn in New York City that there was what do you call it? Um, that you had the bodies buried down there. That will be in the 1970s. We didn't learn about it that they were brought downtown Manhattan. We didn't learn about Seneca Village after slavery ended in Manhattan. That you had the former enslaved Africans were being harassed by the new Europeans that were coming in, and there was an opportunity for them to establish their own community, and that part was what we call Central Park. Part of it was part of the section is in Central Park in New York City. I just learned of Seneca Village last year. I think it was last year or the year before. Yeah, maybe it was 2020. And I did the video on that. I did a live stream on Seneca Village. Sorry, it's buffering. Yeah, this is an important event in history. And if you're going to nitpick about for someone to say it was mankind being inhumane to mankind, then why are you teaching it? I mean, what is it? I mean, the teachers I had were Jewish. And that's pretty much what it was all about. That's why they wanted to teach it. That never again, right? Never again. And to inform us, because see, if it was all about race and that particular race, and if you're not part of that race, then what threat is it to you? Well, the whole threat is that if no one speaks out, because man is inhumane to man, they would do it to somebody else, right? That's the whole point. But she's being punished. And this is to show you that Black America is still going to be punished if they teach a narrative outside of what they want you to believe. And that's what's really bugging me. The new rich. I mean, I know I'm a little bit all over the place, but everything's related to everything else. The narrative about the new rich, that the illusion or the lie or the narrative, they all work together to control you. Why do you call them influencers? It's all to influence / control the you, to distract you from the ability to make a lot of money by being an influencer. And if you're good enough, you too could be invited to Monaco and be celebrated, and to have a contest who's going to be labeled the number one. It's all connected. That's what I'm saying. They on the surface, it seems very different, but they all work together to seduce you, like I was being seduced. I was allowing myself to be seduced, see if I can be seduced, when I joined that health club a couple of years ago. I think it was in 2019, 2018 or 2019. And I said, I had enough. I wasn't even going to let 2 weeks. They said, well, you could just stay for, a week and a half more and just fulfill the full 2 weeks and you could just go. I said, no, I want to go now. And they couldn't figure it out. And they knew I was hiding something. And I knew they wouldn't care why I was wanted to cancel my membership. It's all fakery. It's all fake. I don't want to be fake anymore. I don't want to be fake to myself. And I really want to understand what's really important in life. What should I use to really um, guide myself? I think it has to really do with what's inside of you. Because see, um, they said your reality, that you create your reality. They said anything that you experience outside, they said you program that in yourself. I said to myself, wow. So how do you change? How do I create a world for me? And what world should that be? If everything you see outward is about what you program in yourself inside, so how could it be? I mean, I don't know. I really, what do you guys think of that, about that? Do you think you really create your experiences? I mean, sure, if you don't do your homework, you're going to fail class. I mean, yes, a lot of things we are in charge of. But they say your whole state of reality is based on what you believe. It's it's amazing. I don't know. I must be doing something. What about those people who are targeted individuals? You have people who are being worked upon remotely using those EMF machines. Or what about, yeah, the EMF, those nanoparticles? I think something is really influencing us, and a lot of it is external, such as I said, the nanoparticles, the EMF machines, television, and now through social media, who they call influencers. So your body is a computer. You are a computer, a biological computer, and it could be hacked, influenced, manipulated. So how are we supposed to win? How do we win this fight when everything that we are around is telling you to behave a certain way? Just look at Miss USA, that poor young woman, a beautiful black woman who's been in the social media now, since 2019, and now she ended it just a couple of days ago. She was a college graduate. She had 2 degrees in she had an MBA and her law degree. She was set, very pretty, uh, toned. She gave it all up. She had 2 degrees. She had an MBA and a law degree. She studied law. She practiced law. And she won Miss USA in 2019, just before COVID. And she couldn't take the pressure. She said that people were insulting her. And she did what she did. What it's again illusion. The lies. Someone's going to tell me she created that? She did all she could to be something. A lawyer with an MBA. She worked in television. I never knew who she was until this accident, this tragedy happened to her. So again, this false illusion. She played the part. She gets recognized in 2019 and win the contest. And I start to question, how do we fight the illusion? Even when we're doing along, we're going along the process, she followed the system. She went to school. She did all that was expected of her. And then she ended it. And it's this frustration, I think, that I'm addressing here. The illusion of inclusion, that if we do everything with science, what society tells us to do, you have some people in social media, what they call influencers, and they're getting new money. They're teaching people how to make more money. Are they happy? Why wasn't she happy? If society said you just do this, A, B, and C, and you're set. I think people like Miss USA, that see, we're not really they don't want us to be a part of the party. And I think she saw through it. I think she saw through the illusion. But she imploded. She didn't have any outlet. In New York City, there's really no outlet for black people, black women, to express themselves. You go to ask for a black therapist, a black psychiatrist. A psychiatrist is a medical doctor. I had asked for a black psychiatrist once. I needed this paperwork done, and it required that you talk to a psychiatrist. And when I asked for it, because they asked me, oh, do you have a preference? See, again, the illusion of that they'll give you what you ask for. So I said, oh, okay, I like to talk to a black psychiatrist, a black American psychiatrist. And it was a black woman that asked me that. And she got angry with me, raised her voice at me, and said, well, some of us don't want to call ourselves that. Well, that's not what I asked. You asked me if I had a preference. So I gave you what I wanted. If the inclusiveness was real, you made me think that what I wanted was to be given to me, but you didn't have it. And rather than say that you don't have it, you insulted me because you knew you didn't have it. See that? So Black America don't have in New York. Yeah. Am I making sense, people? So they want you to think that you be included, and they ask the black people, "Oh, do you have a preference?" Why the hell you ask if you know you cannot deliver? And I think Miss USA was seeing through the illusion of inclusion, of a new stratosphere. For you work hard, you be a black lady, and you work real hard, and you be accepted and loved. She was not loved. Yeah, New York City is not a place that loves black people. It loves black culture, black music, black fashion, but leave out the black people. There's no place that's really catering to us, of someone of her true caliber. She tried to put a happy face on. They said she never had a A bad day, they said about her. Yet they had very good things to say about her. Yeah, because the illusion doesn't include certain people. Yeah, with when they got angry at Whoopi to say that it wasn't about race. Well, it is about race. Also, it's always about race when you have black people. Why isn't she being why aren't the black women really being celebrated? Yes, yes, yes. We have black women on the magazine covers. Yeah. See, that's all superficial. But the real culture of acceptance, to be a part of the broader system, is still excluded from her. Yes, she was on television. She was on this what do you call it? This Hollywood type of show, what about you interview the celebrities and things like that. I forget the name of the show. She was on it, they said. She was one of the interviewers. But it didn't include her. It really didn't. And Whoopi Goldberg is the old school system. And we saw all the movies that Whoopi did. What type of movies were they? They were all stereotype images on black women. But Miss USA was new school. The new black woman who was slender, uh, college educated, was everything what mainstream society, that you just do this and you be celebrated. She wasn't celebrated. It's like eating a hamburger with no ham in it. She bit into it. And the illusion of it got her angry, in my opinion. I thought of it, just like when I went to school, I graduated with honors in that school. And the illusion was pulled away from me. I tried more than once. Just like she has 2 degrees, I have 2 degrees. And I have other degrees from the cooking school. And each time I thought, okay, if I work hard and do this, I'll be celebrated too in some way. I'll be treated with respect. I'll this and that. Did it happen for her or me? Did it? It didn't happen. And she imploded. Am I making any sense to you, people? Am I really making sense? Do you understand what I'm really getting at? It's okay to make money. It's okay to go to college. It's okay to be whatever what you want to be. But the illusion is for the selected. The illusion that, with Whoopi, I'm sure she thought she was set in Hollywood because she followed the system. She followed it to the T. Well, it's a reminder that this system really doesn't accept you completely. It's reminding you that you're not to speak on behalf of certain people, even though historically you are um, a persecuted people, and still they'll allow you to make money. Remember that the basketball team a couple of years ago, the guy from it's California, and this lady, she's a black and Mexican mix, and she had recorded that basketball owner who was saying these horrible things about black people. And then that tape got leaked, and the NBA, the people who the NBA came together and they booted him out of his own team that he owns. See, this is what really is. Um, they make you feel included. Yes, those basketball players make a lot of money. It doesn't matter how much money you make, it's who controls your money, who controls the narrative. And it got leaked what that man really thought about us. And I think that girl was faced with the same thing and she just couldn't have it. We need to start really looking within ourselves, I think. I hope you guys could hear me. Could you guys hear me? I don't. I just want to make sure you guys could still hear me because what happened 2 days ago, I did a live stream, but I had my headphones on, and this happened more than once. There was interference, and none of my audio came through. None of it. And I don't want the same thing to happen here. Yeah, all a part of the illusion. I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for many of us. We're given the illusion of wealth, of being accepted, and you go through all the process, and then something happens. We really need to start looking, and when I speak, I'm speaking to myself also. That to look within, to find meaning of our lives inside of us. What is the real meaning? We create meaning, and that was another theme about this whole thing with Monaco and the wealth that the principality of Monaco. It relies on illusions of wealth, of prestige, but you pull away all the veneer and it has nothing to sit on. And in fact, that it needed, because it was sinking fast, Monaco. And so in the 1950s, they arranged for um, Grace Kelly, the actress, to marry the Prince of Monaco, Prince Rainier. And everything that's attached to it is attached with Hollywood, and Hollywood is about witchcraft and the illusions of what you see on the outside. Wow. Say, I did try yesterday. Uh, w- uh, one of my viewers contacted me and said that the video I did about I had a dream 2 days ago about this royalty marriage. I was to marry. It's something. Um, and the whole, as I said, the whole video, no audio. I might as well share the dream, since the audio is working now. And I think well, I had a dream about I was to. Uh, it was an assumption. I felt there was to be a marriage with this royalty person. And I think I had the dream. Well, see, I had a video playing in the background as I was sleeping, and there were these British people talking. It was a British, it was some news thing or something, and they were from Britain. So the accent of those people got manifested in my dream. But the dream was more about my longing. Let's see, that whole industry is wicked beyond. Yeah, it is wicked. Um, this one I think was this dream that I had. I was to. It was an expectancy for me to um, marry or be a part of this royal family. And again, it really focused, I think, on my feelings. I was feeling very powerful and strong and confident. And I had this particular person of royalty standing there on my side, my right hand side. And I remember the longing that I had for this person. I mean, in the dream, I'm in real life, I don't have any connections with this person whatsoever. But I just go by what I was feeling in the dream. And I had feelings of longing and of intimacy of the heart. And then to my left side was another fellow, looked like some type of helper or whatever. And he's like staring at me. And then he stands right behind me. And his front part of his body, it was pressed against my back side as I was standing. And I'm thinking, this guy is standing really close to me. And I don't want this royalty person to think I'm flirting or I'm inviting this other person, and that this is no consent on my part, no invitation on my part. I'm going to speak out. So I turned my head and I told him that I think he was standing too close to me, and I was feeling very powerful. I felt very confident. I remember feeling inside. And then that encouraged me to speak further. And I told him off that you are out of place. And you see, I'm standing here next to this prince, and you have the nerve to do that and disrespect me. Get away from me. Something to that extent, I said. But what was into that? You're hooked up with one person, a gentleman. But you want to go and do something disrespectful to my body by how you're standing, pressing against my body, and totally disrespecting me. And it's time to speak out, ladies, because you may have your bow next to you and someone doesn't want that bow. Uh, they might feel you're not deserving of that prince in your life. But I'm going to take from you, a person who, let's say, you have perverts out there who, at your expense, they try to do something at your expense sexually. They might do a gesture behind your back or uh, take a feel from you when you're not expected as you walk by. You know what I'm getting at, ladies. That, in essence, is what he was doing. What else was interesting? What was the thing? Yeah, there were other components to the dream. Um, but yeah, it's about boundaries, and you have distractions. Yeah, the other parts of the dream was things that were distracting me, and uh, and the freedom that I was feeling at the time, and I felt totally liberated. And then this person tried to disrespect me right next to this royalty person. Yeah, and I was to yeah, we did it. Yeah, interesting. Um yeah, but my hopes were, Yeah, I thought I was thinking more was going to come out of the relationship, but it actually didn't. It actually ended. But the hope that I had, the hopes of, I guess maybe hopes of inclusion, but the real thing that I felt empowered in myself. It wasn't that I felt empowered because but I guess flattery. Because again, he was to, um, I think we were going to be a pair of some type. But it's really weird because I it's something so foreign to me. But the main thing, ladies and gentlemen, about protecting your personal space so that when a prince or a princess is by your side, you don't want someone to monkey around behind your back like he was doing in the dream. They present people in you to mock you because they don't want you to move ahead. And even though they may present the illusion of inclusion, of wealth and prestige, and even opportunities to be on television, having access to the elite, it's all has its limits. They let you think, you know, um, I guess once you know that, you have to fight against it for preventing you to really become deceived. That there's what's his name? Carl Jung is I think it's a psychiatrist from the past, and he studied about reality. What is reality? And I have a quote of his on my wall in my other room. I have to paraphrase, and I think he hit on the head that um, people who look outside of themselves continue to dream, but as people who look within their heart are awakened, something like that. Yeah, let me repeat it. That the person who looks outward continues to dream. It's not real. But those who look within their heart, their eyes are open, and they experience true reality. Yeah, so it's time for us to look within our heart to help guide us, and that's where we find true reality. And these illusions that are outside of our eyes is what's holding us back. And the extreme about it is what happened to Miss USA. She had everything, everything that someone would, especially from the black community, that we want. Don't get don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in it all. Especially these new influencers. They have a time and season also. And they're being used for a purpose. These influencers to bolster their views and exposures and rewarding them with money. But I bet if they say one word that's contrary, they can get their channel pulled. And then you have instant poverty, right? That's how they make the money from their channels, the exposure. And they too are not immune to criticism. Yeah, let me look at any of the remarks. Okay, Nubia says, I always enjoy your chat. Love you, sister. Peace. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, yes, we were sleeping. Yeah, I couldn't sleep. Yeah, I couldn't sleep. So, does anyone else have anything that they want to share in this before I go? Yeah, it is getting late. Yeah, people don't get deceived. Don't get deceived. Yep. Whoopi Goldberg, wake up call. Miss USA, wake up call. How many of us? Kanye West. What happened to Kanye West? You don't think he had a wake up call? They celebrated Kanye West for how many years now? About 15 years? What happened now? They playing him off as a crazy man. He ain't crazy. Listen to his words. His words are not the words of a crazy man. He is having a wake up call. And now they're using his kids against him. He had to go on social media to find out where his kid's party was. Oh, yeah. Yes. That's right. Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon. Wake up call. You notice they're all black people? Nick Cannon, Kanye West, Miss USA, and Whoopi. You think it's just by accident? You think it's all by you think Whoopi what do you think Whoopi's gonna do? She's played the part since the 1980s. Almost 40 years. You think that? Don't you think this is a wake-up call? They put a black mayor for New York City. You think you think he's going to make the shots here in New York City? That's why I want to leave. I see when they put certain people in, they put it in for a reason because you don't have the power and they're going to do something. I feel they're going to do something really hard upon New Yorkers and blacks, especially in New York. It is a wake up call. Oh my God. Who else in Hollywood got screwed? Oh, what's her name? Britney Spears. Now, that is interesting with Britney Spears. I know that I'm kind of going off the track here, but see, anyone could be a victim of the illusion. How many people thought that Britney Spears had it all made, and then all of a sudden they too try to vilify her and make her look crazy, and they were forcing her to take these drugs. And then she exposed it. She finally got. I mean, I thought it was just uh, a made up story in the around 2005. All the thing with Brit. I thought they were just a Hollywood making up stuff. And to find out now that she's been targeted. See that she's not. They're not even safe. That's what I'm talking about. The illusion of inclusion. And they're even screwing around of these wealthy performers. And if you speak out, you're going to be targeted. Yeah. Yeah, it's time for to look within your heart. Look within your heart as a stability thing for us to rest upon. Yeah, I think in the dream that I was hoping the illusion of this of this royalty, but at least I learned to speak out, protect your boundaries, protect your boundaries. Okay. Yeah, that's why you don't sell yourself for money and fame. Yeah, don't sell it. And now people, I'm glad you mentioned that because see now, people are going to sell their soul to the meta, what they call the metaverse. That's what the whole thing is about. Protect your boundaries, protect your mind, protect your body, protect your mind. Because they want to use the influencers in the next phase of this reality thing. That's why this Monaco, because look at Monaco is linked now since the 1950s with Hollywood. And Prince Albert, who did he marry? He didn't marry royalty. He married a regular girl from South Africa. She was a Olympic swimmer. Thank you, Nubian. Yeah, that's part of the illusion also. South Africa. And she's playing the part. She is not royalty. Princess Grace, beautiful, beautiful looking woman. She's not royalty. She is Hollywood. And it seems like the royal family really don't have anything going in themselves, but tapping on to now the commoner. Look at Britain. Who did Prince William marry? What they consider a commoner. See, they need you. They need you. See, their blood is getting too thick, and they got to dilute it with your genetics because they can't stand anymore. They need you, and you're part of the illusion now because there's no creativity that comes out from them. Nothing. They rely on the outsider to boost them up. In themselves, they have nothing but the illusion. They show pictures of these castles in this other program, these castles in Europe, and they showed an aerial view. And you know, with some of them, it's just a shell. They had the walls of the building and no ceilings. So you're able to look downward and see nothing inside but a shell. That's all what royalty is. They are just a shell. It looks strong, but there's nothing inside. It was amazing. And now, because of that shell is being exposed, they need to tap onto new genetics to carry them to the next level of reality. And that next reality is going to include the cyber world, cyber world, the metaverse. Yep, watch out. Don't sell your soul. Watch out for your health. Protect yourself. And none of us live forever, anyhow. So if that's the case, no matter what you do, the outcome for all of us, there's a time and season for all of us. Let's live it according to what's best for you, the individual. Yeah. If we all die, let's die with dignity. And let's live with dignity. Yeah, the Nubians say people will still. Yeah. Yeah. It's a false system. They can't survive without us. They cannot survive. They will not. They can't. There's no substance to them. They're trying to convince you by getting younger and younger. See, when you control the youth, Nazi Germany was controlling the youth, and now they're trying to control us through the youth using social media and now calling these young entrepreneurs influencers, influencers of power. And it's to deceive you, to make you buy products that have no flavor, be made with slave labor, probably. It's flimsy. Like those castles that they showed, there is on massive amount of land, acres of land. And only thing that stood was just the exterior of these buildings. There's no ceiling on top. It's all abandoned. They need a new frontier to control. They can no longer really control this existence. So they're gonna push the metaverse to be the new kings and queens of that. Yes, that's right. They're trying to still depopulate. They want to depopulate here the undesirables. You know, the people who they say, yeah, it's a vacant. Yeah, it is vacant. Yeah. Yeah, they want to depopulate. Maybe it's to pull the souls. See, I do believe that our, our true body is somewhere else. Like I had this, I told you about some of the vision that I had. I was, I saw these little ponds, and it looked like it was underwater, like under some type of fluid. This clear fluid looked like a water, and these ponds under the water, and these look like a seaweed, this light colored seaweed type of thing. Remember, I talked about that. Yeah, oh, they're being depopulated. Yeah, this pandemic. Yeah, it's getting everybody. They trying to orchestrate. They're confused. They seem confused. They try to depopulate, but then they want to hook people up on this metaverse. They are confused because they're desperate. They're desperate. Yeah, I'm not going to get the jab. You know, because they're just trying to scare us. They're just trying to scare us. And, if it's your time, it's your time. But I really think we're a part of, like in the movie The Matrix. And they're trying to, I don't know, maybe what's happening. I know this is, I'm stretching this far with this thing that this, I call it the Kool-Aid that they want us to drink for the past year and a half. Um, are they taking our souls and they're putting in these new avatars in the metaverse? You know what? You know, because I believe that there's a program that I've listened to. It's called Farsight. They have their YouTube channel, but they have a website, and it's on the website that they have their long shows. They do remote viewing, and they said that with it's called the Death Trap. That episode, it was a website and a YouTube channel. They do remote viewing, and they were remote viewing what happens to people when they go. And they said the thing is a machine that they had this grid, and when it uses these lights to attract us, they can also present itself to look like people that we knew from our past, and then we follow them, and then it zaps us, and we lose our awareness. We become amnesia. We, we, bec- we fall into amnesia. And then they throw us back on this planet. But what if they want us to gather our souls to put us in the metaverse? Or let's say on other planets. It's a reason why someone says, well, we just get rid of them. For what reason? Maybe it's to take our soul. I mean, I know that's really stretching it. I know it's stretching it. I don't know. I don't know, people. Yeah, but I do believe our bodies, because the thing that I'm seeing, that there are other realities happening, and you can tap into other realities with your consciousness. And I think that's why in some religious uh, institutions they don't want you to meditate, because the meditation will introduce you to the other realities that exist the same time this one is happening. Something is going on. So, yeah, so I think I'm going to end this live stream. Yeah, I've been on long, long enough. It's really, I really enjoy doing these live stream with you guys and gals, because it gets me thinking, and it helps me, I like the information that you share. Each one teach one. And it's good to know what other people are experiencing, especially these days in big living in big cities. They want us disconnected. They want us disconnected from each other, and but we need to stay connected. It's not the best way, but it's better than nothing right now. And we're sharing information so that we can share with others. Okay. So yes, each one teach one, and share what you have. Share what you have to help make this journey easier to navigate in. Yeah, it's a pleasure talking to you people out there. Keep on keeping on. And until next time soon, and I hope I'm also able to arrange. I want to learn how to do that, to coordinate the, what do you call it? Patreon and Zoom. Yeah, that it'll be a paid prescription, so that we can talk about anything without being interfered with. Okay, once that is all set up, I will come back on and share that information. Thank you again, people, for sharing and making this live stream very exciting. Take care. Enjoy. Bye bye.